glasses.
This is the same thing as a burning glass, but this entire mask is burning glass with a removable top piece from the bottom. Very, very nice.
Okay, how much would you say this costs?
Them, $15 to $25. They're cheap, they're easily replaceable. They have top and bottom vents to keep from fogging, and they fit nicely over glasses, anything.
Okay.
Next thing I can grab out of here, like I said before, one of my favorite helmets are Lincoln.
Okay.
So this is my Lincoln. Now this is my new Lincoln 4C technology. This is also a dial helmet. But if you notice, the new Lincoln 4Cs is bottom dial instead of top dial. They were seeing people were starting to dislike the top dial because you had to take the helmet off. So now they changed it to bottom dial. And it has a digital test for low battery and everything else. Dual battery backup, very easily maintained. And Lincoln has the soft rubber, and they have the gel pack head backrest with a flexible front headband. Very well built. Love it.
Okay.
It's a touch between a hard hat helmet and a halo. It's still flexible, but if you look at that helmet in comparison to this helmet, they're both flexible, but you can see a slight weight difference. The Lincoln's a touch heavier than the Jackson, where they're both still considered halos because they're both considered a soft helmet. The Lincoln is a little bit of a thicker material, which is nice because it does make it a touch more durable. Something I like to say on Lincoln's behalf. You know, they can take a little bit more than the Jackson halos. Another thing I like is on the bottom of the helmet, they have this big flare out, which is really nice for overhead where you would clip your leather shroud.
Okay.
I love that flare out to attach that front shroud. And when you get the helmet, you get extra lenses, and they come with this nifty, nice, cute little helmet bag here to protect your helmet.
Okay.
Make it all pretty looking. Next thing I have to pull out, a different kind of leather. Now this is one of my favorite set of the leathers for winter. And this is, if you feel the weight of it, it got some weight to it.
Yes, it does.
Now this is the new Miller. This is the new Miller leathers. They have pockets, they have inside pockets, they have expandable seams. They give you a cool little embroidered power of blue, because that's Miller's color. Very nice leather, double button. It has some weight to it, but it's very nice. If you want to try it on, you can kind of show people how it fits in comparison to the Hobart.
Okay.
The Hobart also, as you can see out here, does have an inside pocket stitched in.
Which is, if you can't see, located right there.
Right in there in the left stomach pocket. Mine has inside pockets as well, but they're not outer stitched. Mine also has two outside pockets that are flap over so slag can't fall in them, because that would make life uncomfortable. Now that's not a jacket for welding in the summer.
I can already have a feeling that if you try...
I've ridden my motorcycle to work a couple different times. I've worn that leather as a motorcycle jacket. It's the same leather, it's the same thickness and density leather as you would see in a higher range motorcycle jacket. Now I'm a little bit smaller than you, so
yeah, so
this might be like leather spandex.
If I can...
We'll skip them the preview of having to see Aaron here in a Speedo. So it does have, what's really nice is this. Instead of just open sleeve, these have a cuffed sleeve. So when you put a glove on, this stays on your arm, and the glove tucks between the leather and the insert, which allows nothing to come down your sleeves.
How much would this jacket cost?
Right around $200 to $250.
Okay.
But they're heavy leather, they don't really burn out, and what I like is they come with a full leather front pocket, leather inside and out. So even if something does come through, it doesn't burn through.
Okay. I've also noticed on this jacket that it also has shoulder pockets.
It also has shoulder pockets. My jacket does not. Mine are down here, but it has space for your paint pens.
Same with the Hobart. This one also has a pocket on the inside.
Very nice, very well built. And if you take it off, I'll show them how the inside of it's made, which is also particular to the new Miller jacket. If you can get it off. Quit eating so many burritos and Hot Pockets, huh? So if you hold up one side of this, if you look at this, it's leather, but on the back, it's vented, and it has a softer, non-flammable material. Anyone that welds, they know the feeling of that welder jacket rubbing your shoulder blades.
Yeah.
With this jacket, the shoulder blade, the back, and the sleeve areas halfway down are lined with this material. That avoids that chafing from what you would see in a regular material or a regular leather jacket. Now that Hobart, that's a little bit of a higher end Hobart. It features somewhat of the same thing on the inside, but it's only back and a little bit of the shoulder blade. It doesn't encompass any farther than a little bit off the shoulder, where this one is almost a whole sleeve and a lot more of the area. So you can go ahead and put that back on.
Okay.
Put some of this stuff away here so we can start getting into the kit a little more. The bag itself, I'm really a big fan of this bag. This is the bag Lincoln uses. It's Redline welding apparel. The bag's made by Redline. But this one I bought with my Lincoln kit, so it's stamped Lincoln, but it's a Redline bag. Very well built, everything's stitched heavily. It'll take some abuse.
Okay.
So we were talking about gloves earlier.
Yes.
I got us some gloves.
Okay.
So we'll put some gloves out here. These are Black Stallion. Them are MIG. Here's some Tillman TIG. Here's another Tillman TIG, a little bit of a different design. Like I said, all these different masks come stock with all kind of replacement lenses, all kind of booklets, warranty stuff.
Okay.
It's all good to keep on you. The Miller helmet comes with extra 180-degree side pieces.
Okay.
We have earplugs.
Okay.
Always want to have earplugs. Machinery gets loud. You don't want to be deaf when you're 30 like I am.
Sort of.
Fresh naps. Best thing you can have in your kit. Especially on them hot, sweaty days around your safety glasses, where your helmet meets. You know, every once in a while, grab a wet nap and clean up a little bit, saves your skin a little bit. Don't make you smell much better, but keeps your skin a little healthier.
Okay.
So that's an important part, is you want to keep your skin healthy. You know, make sure that you can always have like moisturizer on hand, gloves on and off, pruny, dry. You know, you get them working hands. more, probably 50 visor replacements, more gloves, another type of Tillman, number MIGs, a glove that you're familiar with, Lincoln, bolt, safety clean, welder's best friend. It's awful hard to see through that welding helmet, especially if you get positioned in an area where you have to be positioned in that cloud.
Okay.
You always want to try to stay out of that cloud, that gas cloud from where that's coming off where you're welding. Sometimes it's unavoidable.
Okay, what happens if you be in that cloud for too long?
Well, on top of health constraints, because it's not good to breathe, it also fogs your helmet. These you would use to wipe down the face mask of your helmet, keeping it clean, especially with the newer helmets that have the 4C and the newer True Light and 4C technologies, where it wants to have a clean viewing area.
Okay.
I keep plenty of these in my bag. So always keep lens cleaner for your safety glasses. You have glasses that work on them, inside and outside of your helmet. You always want to keep your visual area clean.
Okay.
What do you want to get into next here?
Basically, I'd like to know a little more knowledge about the gloves.
Alright, well,
Since these ones look like they had some history.
well, all these have a little bit of history. These are stick gloves. They're a harder leather, but they're the same thing. They have all that room in the fingers. They're just meant to be big gloves.
Okay.
These Black Stallions, these are stick or MIG. And if you'll notice from feeling them, they're insulated.
Yes, they are.
These, if you put one on, you pull them up nice and get them adjusted in your jacket, there is no end of finger room. Your finger ends, at least mine does, because these are made for me, my fingers end at the end of these gloves. Okay. I can sit and pick up coins with these. Very, very nice gloves. Also about $10 more than them Lincolns. These are $25, $30 gloves in comparison to $10 Lincolns.
Okay.
Then you have these Tillmans. These ones in particular are 35L. These are light MIG or TIG gloves. If you feel them, you can feel they're still insulated a touch, but they're considerably thinner.
Yeah.
That thinness is what gives you the TIG. They're a nice glove. One of also my favorite brands in glove is Tillman. I've used Tillman's forever. I almost swear by Tillman.
Okay.
Pop that off. And you can feel it as you flex your fingers. I mean, it goes nice right with your hand. Now, these are Tillman 1414L. These are strictly TIG.
Okay.
Now, me with TIG, if you know one of them's clean and one of them isn't, when I TIG weld, I only use one glove.
Okay.
I use the glove I hold my TIG torch with, and I feed my rod bare-handed. So most of my TIG gloves, I only buy a right side glove.
Okay.
I don't need a left, so I only hold the torch. I feed rod bare-handed, so I can really get the feel of how much rod I'm feeding at a time. And that's very important when you get into a lot of more meticulous TIG welding. You have to know exactly how much, and when you feed, that feed has to be exactly the same every time. And that's where you see them TIG welds just roll a dime. Same distance, same size every time.
Okay.
That's what gives you that, is that ability to feel how much you're feeding. So, and you'll feel there's no insulation in them at all.
Nope.
It's just one single piece of very thin leather. That's all there is in these TIG gloves. Very form-fitting, and once they start getting some heat, they almost shrink to your hand, which is very nice for TIG. Now this one in particular, this is a high back. This is a very thin TIG glove. These are the kind I use for aluminum TIG.
Okay.
They come up a little farther if something pops, but I mean, you don't even have to put it on. You can just feel it. You can feel there's almost nothing to that glove.
Yeah.
These ones in particular, these are the Tillman 1350M. Very good glove. So, we'll get these here put away, and now the way I organize my bag, my TIG stuff goes in one side, my MIG and my TIG, they go in the other. Or I'm sorry, my MIG and my stick go in the other. Last thing to go over is all this stuff. Everything you keep in the front of your bag.
Okay.
In here I have extra sweatbands because they do wear out. I have a calculator. Never hurts to have a calculator. I have an earplug sizing chart. You stick in your ear and you test the size of what size of earplugs you need.
Okay.
Because unlike them foam ones I showed you earlier, all my earplugs are these fancy 3M sized earplugs.
They're pretty neat.
So it doesn't hurt if you're switching brands. And most welding places, if you ask, they will give you one of these for free. And I have probably 30 pair of earplugs.
Okay.
I don't like washing earplugs. I would rather wear them for one day and throw them out. Some of the better ones that I have, the actual plastic ones, I will wash. But for these, it's easy to wear them once, throw them out. Most welding places will give them to you.
Okay.
More lens clean.
Never go wrong with lens clean.
Never. More sweat pads. Extra safety glasses. These ones in particular are snap-on.
Okay.
So, big fan of the snap-on safety glasses. Silver streak. To write on metal.
Okay.
You can see it when you plasma cut. You can see it when you cut. It brightens. You'll see it through your lenses. Very good thing to have in your bag, especially if you cut a lot of your own metal. Sharpie, pen, pencil. If you have to write anything on blueprints, you have to mark metal to go somewhere, you have to mark anything to go anywhere. It's better to have it than to get yelled at for not having it.
Yeah.
An extra tungsten.
Okay.
Never hurts to have an extra tungsten.
Okay, so how does the tungsten go into the TIG torch?
Well, depends on the TIG torch.
Okay.
For the ones we use, you loosen the back, you sharpen, if the belt's coming down, you sharpen the tungsten tip up. That keeps the impurities coming back from the tip. You feed it into the TIG gun, you tighten the back, and you adjust how far the tip's out due to what you're welding, what size fill rod you're using.
Okay, what do you recommend on how far the tungsten sticks out of the torch?
That's all dependent on what you're welding and what size fill rod you're welding.
Okay.
So that's all dependent. I keep an acid etch marker and a paint marker.
Okay.
Both very important pieces if projects are going to go through multiple people to get done. Things can be initialed, things can be marked. If someone sends you something, you see an imperfection in a weld, it can be marked and it can be reworked easily without having to describe to somebody where it is.
Okay.
You can easily circle it, initial it, whatever you have to do. It sticks to the metal, it bonds to the metal, it don't come off. Perfect.
Okay.
Last thing I carry in my bag You should know what these are.
Set of Welpers.
Nice little set of Welpers. These are Tillman Welpers. They're spring assist. It's easier to close something than it is to try to get your hands in there to open them. I love the spring assisted Welpers. They have the clench point for the tips. They have cutters. They have the hammer ends. You can put it in. You can clean your tip. You can get in there. You can do everything. You can cut. You can crimp. Every tool you need. Not necessarily on this jacket, but my leather one in here. These fit absolutely perfect up to about an inch above this rubber into that shoulder pocket. And then I have my silver streak, my acid etch, and my paint marker in the other.
Okay.
I'm ready to go for work.
Okay.
As far as what I brought with me today, that's what I have to share.
Okay.
As far as anything I've showed you today, is there anything you'd like me to bring back out and go into a bigger explanation on, or do you have questions on?
Yes, what's the cost ratio between high-end gloves and low-end gloves?
About 20 to 30 bucks.
Okay.
A set of lower-end gloves, you're still going to pay 10, 15 bucks unless you go to bottom-of-the-barrel garbage gloves. Good gloves, you can spend up to $50 a pair on gloves. So I'd say as far as a price spread ratio, $20 to $30, $35 to go from the lower end to the higher end gloves. But you have to keep in mind application.
Okay.
What are you going to be doing with the gloves? Some gloves can go up to $200, $300 a pair.
Okay.
So you got to get the gloves that are good quality, but they also have to fit your application.
Okay. That's all I have for you.
Well, it was nice here to be on your show today. I hope I get to come back sometime, and I'll let you address your viewers here. And if you guys have any questions for me, just give my friend here a shout, and he'll talk to me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. If you're interested in any schools, I'm a Wyotech graduate, I'm a Butler graduate, I'm a Rostabout graduate, I'm a Weld graduate. Any questions about anything, have them get a hold of you, and I'll be more than happy to answer anything.
Okay.
Well, thanks for having me on the show today, and I look forward to seeing you again.
All right. All right, guys. We learned a lot of things today. So, remember, keep in mind, safety first. And keep hydrated. All right? So all the time we have today. I catch you guys in the next video. Later.